Yo,
Recording in progress.
recording in progress.
How's your
Monday,
weekend?
Monday.
Quit
Oh,
stretching. Let's go. You're supposed
you
to stretch pregame, baby.
so Barney do the stretch where she goes pause to Jesus, where she goes.
Oh yeah. Barney does everything.
My dumb dogs, one of my dogs, Kike, he'll do pause to Jesus, but he'll keep the pause up there, so he'll like lay like that,
Yeah.
just like that.
Interesting. What'd you do this weekend?
What?
What'd you do this weekend?
Nothing.
Wow. That's great.
Like,
You've always been a hermit, you know?
listen, man, it takes me a lot. It takes a lot for me to get out of my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
kind of
man.
socially awkward, especially now since I don't talk to anybody under the age of 30.
Yeah.
I don't talk to anybody under the age of 30 and below the age of 18.
Right.
Social settings for me are pretty tricky nowadays, but we make do. What'd you do this weekend?
Me and my little brother got married. I was the best man.
That's right.
I
That's right.
ripped my speech. I mean, it was great, I think.
Did you write anything down or did you just straight up?
You know, I thought of it in my head, but then as it got closer, I was like, man, I hope I remember all this. And then I practiced it, and then I didn't remember it. So I just wrote down like 4 bullet points, 1 word each.
You're like,
So I wrote down 4 words. But
he
it
is
was
my
good.
boy. I love him.
Hey, hey,
Wife is
it
awesome.
was like, I, I, I just love you so much. I just crumble up the paper and just start crying.
Cheers to them. That's awesome. Congrats, Landon's little brother. We love you. Good for you.
Celsius there. Those look so much like White Claws. We could get in a lot of trouble.
Guys,
Okay.
get your mind out of the gutter.
No, no.
So
But
brought
hey,
to you by Celsius, not a sponsor. What were we gonna say?
Okay, so for Mechanics Monday, I don't have anything specific, but I got a question that's going to lead to hours and hours of talk.
Great.
Um,
I'm there for it.
okay. So I told someone this the other day. There's a kid that I give lessons to that's been, growing up, he took lessons from this guy, and then this guy moved away, and then he took lessons from this guy, and then this guy moved back. And so not in a bad way, but he's been to every hitting coach in some form or fashion to get his work in and do whatever. And he's always been a good kid to me. And I tell everybody, these are all suggestions because one day when you make the big leagues, you're going to go to spring training. You're going to have 25 hitting coaches at one time, and they're going to be walking around talking to you through this, talking to you through that. I had 2 different hitting coaches just in college, and they were polar opposites. One was
Hmm.
I had the first 3 years, and one I had the last year because it was a coaching change. And also, I had my private guys at. Um, this is my question. I know the guys that give lessons around Waco and have done it for a long time. And I promise if there's a kid that's good, like if he's a good player, I can watch. And even though we all kind of teach the same, I can see things that are staples of hitting coaches. Like, because you don't want to cookie cut it. You don't want to put your mark on somebody. You want them to be their self. But I see players and I can instantly go, okay, this guy hits with X, this guy hits with Y, this guy hits with Z. And they all smash, but they all have little parts of them that are from the hitting coach. What is your part? What's your thing that you're like, guys, we got to get to here? And if somebody hits with Jaden Fine, this is what they're going to look like.
Everybody that knows me knows ride the pony and getting off the back leg to 50-50 is like you said. You don't want the worst thing you want to do is cookie cut people. And
Right.
I've talked to hitting instructors even into the nationals where they try to cookie cut you and they hear stuff. They work with Soto or they work with some other guy. They're trying to get you there. It just doesn't work. All I know is that regardless of how you stand in your stance or what your finish looks like, there's hitters in the big leagues. You have to get to the same. Everybody gets to relatively the same spot, and if you're not getting there, regardless if you're 6 years old or in the show, it's not. I don't think it's going to be very good for you.
Right.
But but yeah, I mean, at least for me, it's knees out, 50-50, getting off the back leg. And I stress that a lot. What about you? What's your deal?
Man, for me, I think it's spine angle and posture, right? I think I what helped me the most was that. And so when we start with a kid and I'm going over a load, if he loads and he's just tall, I'm just instantly like, but okay, I don't care who you are. We got to fix it. Because even like the Chris Bryants of the world or the Cody Bellingers, like they might start here, but they're loading and getting in their angle. And so, I'm like, you got to be athletic. So I rip shoulders back, big chest, and try to just turn. Like I'm not manipulating anything. I'm just here to here. And it simplifies. That's definitely my style. Somebody told me that the other day, and I was talking to this kid, and Dub Kilgo gives lessons at my building now. He's one of the greatest of all time. He's up at there in age and been doing it forever. But if you see a kid that takes lessons with Dub, they're very good at slapping balls the other way because he's like, get out here. He's like, nothing good happens on the backside. Let's get out front. And then there's Joe Davila, who I like a lot. He's been doing it a long time too. But I can always tell somebody hits with Joe if they have this big high finish. Like he is such a high finish guy. I don't know if he knows that or not. I've never asked him about it, but I do know everybody who hits with Joe has a high finish. It's just funny how people have, they have their staples, they have their things.
Of course. Sorry, I'm not being rude. I'm writing down questions because as
No,
you're
you're
talking,
rude.
you said that this was going to open up the can. I had
Yeah,
nothing today, and this is exactly what we needed. We needed a
yeah.
little brainstorm to get us going. You're totally
I
right.
got the juice.
It's so funny how everybody has their own little thing, which makes it extremely difficult when you're in a and kids that are out there who want to play professional baseball. That's exactly what, at least I don't know how it was. We didn't play for other organizations, but my first full spring training with the Nationals, and it might have been the same for you the previous year. There's how many levels? Triple A, double A, high A, low A, rookie ball. That's about it.
Yeah,
Six.
DSL as well.
Not only are there six, there's a hitting coach per league per level. There's the minor league. What is it? The minor league hitting, and then there's the upper level hitting. I don't know. There's like 8 hitting coaches. For us, there was what, 4 or 5 different
Yeah, four at
styles.
one spot. And any baseball guy knows hitting. So even if the pitching coach comes over there and you swing and miss, he's going to be like, "Hey, buddy, make sure you do this or that." It's a lot. Everybody knows how to hit, or thinks they do at least.
It's a lot. So, and the question popped up into my mind because this happens with me and my players, especially high school guys or even, 10-year-olds who have coaches that help them out. They come see you. They go home that week. They come back to you. They go, "Hey, my hitting coach, let's just say my head coach on my travel team told me to do this." What's your response? How do you attack that?
Well, it's always different because some people, the waves of select baseball go like this. They'll win the championship and they'll love their head guy, and then they'll lose a game and have to sit on the bench and they'll hate their head guy. So it's like, sometimes people come in and they're like, "Hey, this guy's telling me to do this," and you can see it on their face, like they struggled. The head coach told them to do this. It didn't work, and they're pissed. And then also, I see sometimes when it's like, "Hey, you can see it on their face when they're like, "Hey, we respect this guy, and this is what he's saying. What do you think about it?" So no matter which one of those they tell me, if they're in love with the guy or if they're really on the rocks a little bit, um, I'm like, look, well, the thing is, we need to work together. So if you took everything I said just as literally as possible, like if I'm telling you to get your knob towards the catcher, and then you go back to your select coach and you're like, well, he's telling me to do this. So no, so there's a reason. Like if he's telling you, for example, if they're like, hell, he's telling me to chop down at the ball. And I said, okay, now you got to think of why he's saying that. Do you think he actually wants you to chop down at it, or do you think he wants you to, or you think you're under it and you just need to level out? And so I think most of the time, no one is the biggest idiot ever. But there has been times when he's like, oh, well, he's telling me to do this. And so I'll just tell the kids to try to find the why, and we'll try to be on the same team with said hitting coach. So we're not pulling in opposite directions.
Right. Yeah, I think and part of it too, because we're in the business of.
I can't
I'm sorry,
connect your mic again. I'm getting an echo like from the back.
an echo from the back.
I am. Did your mic Did you unplug your mic?
I'm not using the mic because it was coming unplugged mid podcast.
Oh
Is it,
god,
what are we hearing now?
it's it's there. It's just like it sounds like you're in the other room.
See if we can call an audible here. Oh, hold on.
Do something while we're in a break. I'll just say,
Somebody talk about something.
how, dude, I'm talking to myself. I
Talk
feel
to
crazy.
something. Talk about it. Do something.
No, man, I'm just saying to the kids, like for the kids, if your hidden coach is telling you to do one thing, nobody is that big of an idiot and wants to see you fail. So if they're telling you to chop down at it, you need to check yourself and see if you were under it. Maybe you like it and maybe you don't, but I promise they're not like, yeah, well, this will really screw this kid up because they just want the best. Well, and so I think that's a big thing is nobody's out to get you when you're 10 years old. So even though it feels like that, and we deal with people's kids, so it's tough. Go ahead. I didn't hear anything at all.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, wait. We have a green light. Hold on.
This is bad.
Mike,
This is bad. Panic. Panic.
there's a fire. There's a fire. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I mean,
The same.
the same as I did.
The same. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's roll with it. Let's roll with it.
Hold on. Hold on.
If you're listening to
It says
this
we're
in
on
your
the
car, turn your volume
Yeti.
up.
It says we're on the Yeti. This is a
This is outrageous.
this is a Shiza show.
This
I'm
is
so sorry, guys.
absurd. Oh my god.
Hold on. It says Yeti Nano. Are we good now?
Where's our tech guy? Who's our we need
Jamie,
to hire a tech guy?
Jamie, can you fix that? Can you hear me?
Jamie, look this up.
Can you hear me decently?
Let's just roll with it. Listen, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take charge here. Listen, this is what we're gonna do. If you're in your car, bump it up, turn it up to 11.
What?
When I talk, I'll give you a warning. We'll turn back down.
I paid $60 for this Yeti Nano and it's not working. Unbelievable. Anyways, what I was gonna say, kids, at least me and Landon, we're in the business of development. What are you doing? Are you good?
I'm listening.
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you if I put my ear close to the speaker.
Are you kidding me?
Just go.
Oh,
I'll repeat what you say.
it's really that bad, man? Son of a gun. Okay.
I bet people will be able to hear you better than I hear you. I mean, this is absurd. This is, you would think people would probably fast forward to the end of this, but it's probably funny watching. You look like, I don't know.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's way better.
That's better? Okay, cool.
Way better.
Guys, this is going to be the last episode of this podcast. I don't care. Me and Landon are in the business. What? Oh my god!
Just go. I can hear you.
Now I'm conscious because you're like this.
Just get a better mic. Pick it up. You're dragging us down. Let's go.
I'm trying to figure this out. Me and Landon are in the business of development, right? So if your coach isn't a total asshat and he wants you to be good, if a kid comes to me and is like, hey, my coach said this, make this adjustment. I go, okay, what did they tell you? Why did they want you to make this adjustment? It's like, for example, I have one guy who on his select baseball team, their other assistant coach was a pitcher. He was a professional pitcher. And he was like, hey, I think you should scoot back a little bit. You're jamming yourself. And he's like, okay. So mid-game, he took 2 or 3 inches back off the dish and hit a ball off the wall. And he came to me and I'm like, sweet, do that. Awesome. Because the success will speak for itself. That's a reflection on all of us, all boats rise and sink, so to speak. So, and part of that too is I think it's a little bit of a red flag if you're going to a hitting guy and you say, hey, this guy made this suggestion. What do you think? And they go, that's terrible. Don't listen to that. I hate that. Like that guy's stupid. And again, like I've said before, me and Landon are the if it's coming out of our mouth, it's right, and if it's not coming from us, it's wrong. But aside from that, in in reality, you should be willing to work with somebody, whether it's style based or hey, this feels a little uncomfortable, or hey, this guy told me this. At least give it, at least entertain it a little bit. Maybe it'll work.
Yeah, yeah, you got to at least try. And also, guys, you're going to get to high school or whatever, and it might be better or it might be worse than your select organization right now. But the thing is, you got to master the art of saying yes, sir, trying it, and then maybe not sticking with it. And if habits formed that fast, our job would be much easier as hitters. Like we would be fine, but they don't. It takes 3 weeks for most of you guys to get something down to where it's a habit, and then coach told you to try this, and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to ruin my swing. You're not going to ruin your swing. You're not. You're really not. I mean, yeah, maybe if you do it for 5 weeks in a row, but you're not just going to make a habit you can't get out of just because coach asked you to work down to the ball. And no, I think that's 100% true. I think if anybody's ever saying like, oh, this guy, don't listen to this guy. Like that's okay. Like if your hitting coach needs credit, like a lot of people post about their hitters as they should, and they want to get business as well. But if they're like needing to say everything to you, and if anybody else says something to you and it works, they disagree and they just say it's lucky, that's wrong as well. Like everybody needs to be on the same team to make the hitter better, right?
And
Absolutely.
if you're in a cage, oh, that's great. I totally agree. But if you're hitting less than 400 and your guy's got you in the cage with the PVC pipe and he's got the bucket behind you and you're
Yeah.
whacking that bucket top, you know what I mean? You might need to ask him a couple questions because that's
Yeah.
that's a little bit out there, Aaron Judge.
Right.
Teacher man, hey, if you ever see this, and you want to come on the podcast. Hell, if you want to come to the Barrel Factory and do a clinic for me and Landon, I will pay not only for my slot but Landon's slot as well because we'd love to learn how to snap and tilt it. Because Landon told me
Yeah.
he's really interested in that, and we're looking to make some hitting adjustments. Just saying.
Yeah. Oh, love it.
Uh,
Yeah, I love it, man.
just a little sidebar off of that. What, if you can remember in your career, what is the funniest / silliest drill that somebody has ever had you do as a hitter? Can you remember? Can you recall one?
Yeah, no, I got that off the top
Good
right
story.
away.
I'd love to hear that.
So my dad used to have this. Yeah, it's my dad. So he used to have. I don't know. I guess when I was like 9, I stepped out a couple times or something and tried to just open up and rip. I wasn't even scared of the ball. I just stepped out, and so he got these 5-gallon buckets, and he did the feet in buckets thing, like every dad does. And he had a ball on a rope, and he would swing it like this. My dad is one of our listeners. I love my dad. He tried very hard as well. But so he had I don't know. The rope was like long. It had to be like, I don't know, probably like 15 feet or something. He'd swing it around his head. And when he got to about right here, he'd go, all right, the next one. And he'd swing it at me, and I'd watch it, and I'd hit it. And I got a lot of reps that way, and he never had to pick up balls. But he just hit me with it on purpose a couple times when I had the feet in buckets. He's like, see, it doesn't hurt. I was like, Dad, this son of a gun's on a rope, dog. Jeez, it doesn't hurt on a rope.
So much joy thinking about you and your dad at a park and him just swinging. That's the most Riesel, Texas work I've ever heard, and it works. I mean, shoot, you played professional baseball. Did you Venmo him?
Huh?
Did you Venmo him?
No, I didn't Venmo his little ass.
He might need to send you, Mr. Dietrich. You need to draft up an invoice for Landon. So let's see, 200 hours times 90 an hour. You can do the math there. That's great.
Yeah.
Can I tell you my favorite drill that I've ever done? I'm sure you were there for that. Yeah, I was in professional baseball. This was one of our coordinators telling me to do this. So at one point, I don't know what was going on. He wanted to get me tighter to the ball. I don't know. He grabbed 2 towels from the training room. And the credibility for this is that Soto did this once. Soto had done this once, I guess. He had towels from the training room in the armpit. He pulled me away from my hitting group during early work, towels in the armpit, and the goal was to swing and keep both towels in my armpits. I called it the T-Rex drill. So I'm over here in a profession. I'm getting paid to do this. I had towels in the armpits, and I'm taking swings, and I'm just pounding. I'm pounding balls into the ground, just boom, boom. And he's like, "Good, good." And I remember picking the balls up, and I went back to you guys, and I was like, "Oh, I just this is the worst thing ever." You're like, hey, "It's okay, man. Just try to hit it, man. It's okay."
Yeah.
The T-Rex drill.
Oh, dude, that is, yeah,
It
that
was
is.
like it
You
was
got
like a
paid to do that.
jackass skit, dude. Straight up. It was like Impractical Jokers.
Yeah.
Like
You were like, where's the hidden camera at?
just like I'm like, oh, this is pro ball. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hey,
No. Hey, one time when I was in Fredericksburg, it was like my second game or
this
something.
is great. I love this story. Please tell it.
You know
Oh
it?
gosh. This is the
Were
is
you
this the
wanting me
swing
to
and
tell this
miss?
one?
Is this the swing and miss story? The swing and everything?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
please tell it.
Okay. So this guy throw like as time went on this year, the year it happened was the year Soto was in the home run derby, and I don't remember this guy's name, but he threw to Soto in the derby.
I know who you're talking
Um,
about.
it was like his personal hitting coach. Anyway, so he's in low A, and he's like, "Oh, okay, can I do the accent? Okay, this is
You can
what
try.
we're gonna do. Okay, mine. So you see what we're gonna do? No, all right." He was like, he's like, vamos Yaden is what he say. All right, sorry. So he's like, we're gonna do a hit and run, and you're gonna do as many as you can in 45 seconds. And I said, okay, so you want me to pound the ball into the ground like a hit and run, and I have to swing? You have to swing 45 seconds. He was like, pew, 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 pew. I was going, and he was like, good, done. Nice job. Next guy. And I was like, well, can I take a regular round? And he's like, no, you're good. Head back to the clubhouse. And I was like, oh my God, this is what we're doing. And I didn't want to question it because this is like my second pro game ever. And I was like, oh no. I got in, single to right, first hit, second at bat, first home run in Fred Knight's history, 444 feet. And
You're
I
like,
went,
guess what?
wow.
I guess
And
we're
he
doing
was like, vamos, baby, let's go, Prindalo. And I was like, what just happened? What just happened? And then once
like
he told me not to swing until I got 2 strikes. And I was like, what am I like? People don't, I'm not going to get walked. What are you doing? Anyway, sorry.
it's yeah, and people listening, it's not like that at every organization. I've heard it's beautiful other elsewhere. Like I remember you did you play in Delmarva?
No, but I played against him. I didn't play there, though.
So when we went there to Delmarva, and that was the team with when I was at least when I was there, Colton Cowser, Kobe Mayo, Connor Norby, like who else was there? Dogs.
Jordan Cannon was there.
They're all like rookie of the year is going to be Cowser. And they would put up on the scoreboard the the hit tracks or whatever, and they would rip up that machine. And they literally told them like, "Hey, we need balls from 20 degrees to 35 degrees above 95." And they're just like, "Wow, wow!" Then we get out there, and he's like, "Okay, man, we're gonna hit the ball on the ground to second." And we're like, "This sucks,"
Yeah, no fun.
but hey, different ways to do it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, man. When we played Delmarva, they had a kid named Jordan Cannon who I actually played against in high school, which is crazy to meet another 2A guy from around here.
That is crazy.
He went to TCU, and I didn't hear about him for years. And then he was catching. It was like 97. It was like, boom. And he goes, Landon, you remember me? And I was like,
You're like,
what? He's like, Jordan Cannon. I was like, Jordan, hey, boom, strike two. I was like, stepped out, used my one time, and I was like, don't talk to me until after the game. Strike three. I was like, it's your fault.
this is your fault, Cannon.
But
Damn
they
it.
also had Gunnar Henderson when I played him. He hit two
Yeah.
bombs.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, man. I mean, and like talking to my buddy Nash Knight, who loves feet. If you guys follow me on Instagram, he played in he went to DBU, played in professional baseball for like 100 years. He's only 30, but he when he was with the Rangers, they were big on path and direction and getting the ball in the air. And that was unheard of with the, I mean, holy cakes. We were taking the knob to the top of the ball, like
Yeah.
crazy prehistoric stuff. But yeah, or like you can think of organizations like the Dodgers, Houston across the street from us. They were doing hit tracks and they were getting data and they were, and I'm still waiting on the hitters report from the Nationals that they promised us. Do you remember all that?
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on that email, but
Dude, I hit one and they were like, I hit one in the gap versus somebody. I don't remember. I think it's like somebody on rehab. And this was like almost right when that was happening. And I remember what was the data guy we hired, intern? He was an Asian.
totally don't remember. Totally don't
Um,
remember. Nice
anyway,
guy.
he was like, I went, wham, 101 Oppo gap, one of the best swings ever taken. And he had the video cameras out and stuff. He goes, we're going over that Monday. That's going in the hitting report. I said, thanks,
Danny.
Danny. Yeah. Thanks,
Yep.
Danny.
Thanks, Danny.
And then I never saw that again. I
And
was
I-
even nice to him.
like, there's cameras. Literally, there is a database where every swing, every pitch, every foul ball in the big leagues is captured from every angle under the plate from the helmet view. And like, we have cameras everywhere in the facility, and you'll smoke a ball off a big leaguer. And I know that the big leaguer's getting film. You're certain that they're getting their video work in. And they're like, hey, I hit a homer off of Strasburg today. Can I see that video? And they're like, I don't know. It's in the ether. We can't find it. And you're like, okay.
Yeah. In the
That's good.
cloud.
That's
It's something about how the cloud connects to the minor league system and doesn't,
Or they'll get it on video, but it's the last 5 milliseconds of the swing on your finish, and it's you running to first, and you're like, oh, okay, that was good.
Yeah, and
That's
I
good.
asked about that one time. I was like, hey, I'm kind of big into video. You guys got it? And they were like, we don't want you thinking about it too much. And I was like, this is my career we're talking about here. You know that? Do you know that? Like, I get you are paid just like me. Like, we're coworkers in this in this thing. And I was like, dude, you are just rip me a video. And they're like, well, we don't want you thinking too much about it. I'm like, well, now
This is what you're paying me for, to think about it.
Now I'm going to the cage that's down the street with the little leaguers just to take a couple swings so I can record it with my cell phone.
Oh man,
You're killing me. You're killing me. I'm losing sleep over this.
straight up. That's wow. So many emotions and memories flooding back into my body. I'm just like, wow. Anyways, what else was I gonna ask? Oh, I had another thing written down. That's funny. Do you want a break? We got 7 minutes.
I think maybe if we restart this, your audio might be better. So yeah.
Let's restart it.
Okay. Not restart, but get a new one. All right.
We'll be right.
I hear you loud and clear now.
Guys, we talked to our creative team, our media department. We got this sorted out.
Thank you.
Guys, this episode is brought to you by Barrel Factory. Look at his hat. Look at that flipping hat. BF. Barrels only. B for barrel as well. Go check it out. It's pretty sick. How many lanes you got? 6?
5.
5 lanes. Hit tracks. Field outside. It's raining. You can't go outside today. Guys, we have testimonial. We got testimony from Barrel Factory, at least from my clients, because I haven't been to the new factory yet. The Knicks family said it's freaking sweet. They begged me to get a hit tracks. I said, sorry, daddy's got no coin for that. You got to go back to the Barrel Factory. So if you need instruction or you want to hit, go see that. I have an online program, Big Time Baseball Online. We got dudes in it. They're good. Check us out because we're pretty both smart guys. And yeah, you figure at some point I'd get better at these ad reads, but
yeah,
I'm still awful.
No, I think you do. I think you do well.
Think I'm doing well?
I think we've talked about guys getting a hitter from Jaden's thing, his online program, and seeing if we can watch him on the pod with his permission. Pick somebody every week and we can cut him up a little bit and dice him up and see what we're thinking about. we're still working on that with our media team, right? We can't do
Yeah.
that now.
Hey, not only are we working on that with our media team, we need to talk to our marketing department as well. Coach Jaden has been awful at marketing this. The first two episodes were good, 300, 350 views. Last couple, we're in the 50 to 60 mark.
It's my fault as well. My fault as well.
And guys, listen,
I get
okay,
busy.
shut your mouths, guys. We're busy, but we still love you.
Believe it or not, this is more for us.
100%.
I think
100%.
I get
And
to talk to you every week about hitting, and I more than likely am implementing things we talk about.
both sides, 100%. We had a conversation the other day where we were sending each other hitters and talking through guys. So just know, guys, the work doesn't stop in the cage. Okay.
No, it's all day.
What was
You
I
seen
gonna
that? You seen that video of is it Coach Campbell, the Lions head coach, and he's like, I lose sleep over this. He's like, all I think about is you guys. You know?
That guy's funny, man. Did you watch the Hard Knocks of the Lions a couple years ago?
A little bit. Seen a little bit of it. I'm too busy to be doing none of that.
He's good. I didn't that was the Hard Knocks was his first the training camp of his first year. I didn't think he was gonna be very good. The Lions are gross.
Dude, they're great. And it's him. I would play for him.
100%. 100%. Jared Goff's on the Lions though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He's pretty good. Hey, big game tonight. Cowboys. They're playing tonight. Are you a Cowboys fan? Do you watch NFL football?
I did last year because I was in fantasy, but I think I am again. I'm in fantasy. I'm like 2-9 or 2-8 or something stupid, just because man, I got so busy. The building. No, I don't watch football. I don't really care. I don't care about the Cowboys, man. I don't care. You know.
I hear you. Listen, man, I don't really watch sports. I'll watch baseball when it's on during the spring. And like all my clients are surprised of two things. One, I don't watch any sports. Two, I don't play video games. And it's like, guys, we got taxes. Like, what do you mean? Like, we're trying to run businesses here. Like, I can't go home and play Fortnite.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're on there playing Fortnite, and take my word with a grain of salt, because I seshed a lot of Call of Duty, Fortnite, Minecraft when I was in college, and I actually got a call from Coach Landon last night who was trying to connect his controller to play around a Fortnite. So
I hate you.
Grain of salt here. Stop playing it. Get your work done first if you have extra time. Get your work done, get your homework done, then you can play some Fortnite. But if it's Fortnite first, you're wrong. Landon literally built he bought property and built a building. He can play all the Fortnite he wants. Okay.
Yeah.
So get off him.
I heard they're bringing back the OG, like original stuff. And so I was like, man, I might try it. But it's been so long since I played, my controller won't even connect. I think my controller turned to dust.
Listen, man, the day I stopped playing Fortnite is when I was playing by myself and I one tapped a guy and he went and he was like way up there and he started shooting at me. And I'm like, oh, I'm done. And I exited out and I don't think I've turned on my PlayStation since. That was 4 years ago or 3 years ago.
Man, I played the first day it ever came out. My friend was like, come try this game. It's pretty fun. And like I was moving around and I did well. But they were like, look, you can build a wall. And then I built a wall. I was like, why would I ever do that? Yeah. That took so long. And they were like, yeah, no one does it. And then like you fast forward like a year and a half and people are in skyscrapers and you're like, okay. And it's some kid, man. It's some damn shithead kid. Sorry,
guys. That's you.
That's you.
We're talking to you.
Beat me at my own game like that and make it not fun for me. I hope you strike out looking.
Right. And hey, baseball players, professional baseball players, what would you say? 80% of all of them, 85% play. They go and get their stuff done during the day and then they come home and play.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the way it is. Do you remember when Cootsie had the flight simulator? You had one too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
dude, I was like, VR on. I was like, oh, and we were like yelling. We got multiple noise complaints because I'd be like, he would like turn on like danger zone, and we're doing this mission against like live people, and you gotta like push the APU and like shoot the gun, and I'm like, oh my gosh!
As we're talking about flying fighter jets and helicopters, gosh, that was good. Do you think that video games have any sort of benefit to baseball players regarding hand-eye or reaction, or do you think that has any benefit, or do you think it's just stupid?
The show absolutely does.
You think? Huh, interesting.
Well, people say for your eyes and stuff like that. I don't know about that because the visuals aren't even the same. But I will promise you one thing: it will help your approach. It will help. You got to steal correctly on some things. Like when you playing like your own guy, like Road to the Show or whatever, and you want to steal, you got to push either button, like go or stay. That helps. But also, I have a story of a guy named Peyton who's like he was playing the show like 2013, and he was a catcher, and he's like 8. This is he's a senior now, but he sticks a ball and it's a check swing, and they're like ball, and he's just pointing at the umpire. He's 8. He's like, and they're like, oh, he's checking him, and so the umpire's like, yes, he did. And his dad's like, how did you just do that? I've never talked to you about that. He goes, Dad, I play the show.
I guess that's true. Or like, I don't know. I haven't played in years. Is there still the little field in the corner, and then you see the dots of where the players are?
Yeah, and where they run and the cutoffs line up
All
correctly,
in the
man.
gap. I mean, they're going to line up. I mean,
Yeah,
you
that
got to learn
stuff.
that stuff.
We're gonna
Interesting.
have every Barrel Factory kid's gonna be playing the show before tryouts. Don't do that.
Don't do it,
Go get
loser. Sorry.
Barrel Factory tryouts this week, Tuesday through Thursday.
Well, try out. You better sign up. There'll probably be 300 kids there. You better show out too.
If you're coming,
Coach Landon's going to yell at you.
be
One of these
running on.
days, Coach Jaden's going to make it down to Waco and do a little guest coaching experience. We'll see.
Good luck. Good luck to everybody coming because there's a lot of good ones coming.
There's probably going to be 400 kids there. Landon, I was on our little break. I was thinking about when, at least for me as a hitting instructor, because now we can see 2 swings from a kid and know exactly what they're working on, exactly what they need, how they're moving, what's going on. When did it click for you as an instructor? Like where you got to a point where like this is my job. I can do this fairly well. Do you remember a moment? 'Cause it's kind of a hard question, but what do you think?
I don't remember a moment. I don't remember a moment. That's a hard question. Yeah. No, man, I don't think that. I think when my hitter started having a little bit of success and I realized like this is what you could do, but I feel like I'm learning every day. So like I feel like in 6 months I'm going to look back and be like, wow, I didn't know anything back then when I do, you know.
Yeah. At least for me, like my favorite, and that's kind of leading into my next question. I was going to ask you what your favorite part of being a hitting coach is. For me, and I think they tie into each other. My favorite, at least when I was a player, the best thing in the world was like you're working on something and then you smoke a ball and the light bulb goes off and you're like, that's it. That's what I'm trying to do. And the best feeling about being a hitting instructor is when you're helping a kid or they're struggling or whatever, and then they hit a ball, and then I peek around the L screen and I go, and then they look at me and they go, I noticed that I got, the more I learned and the more I was putting in reps in the cage with players, the frequency of that moment increased, and it happened more and more and more. And that happens more often with new guys I don't know how many new people you see.
Never.
Yeah, but there's nowadays like some people who are inconsistent. It'll kind of revolving door. New kids, they get that moment more, but even kids that you've seen for months, you'll be working on like they want to start doing a leg kick or put their hands in a different spot.
Oh yeah.
That's the best when they hit it and they're like,
Yeah. Oh man, no, for sure. And man, I had something I was gonna say with that, but I forgot. No, oh, dude, most of our job is bringing energy, right? Like nobody wants to come in and hit with the where it's like, okay, here you go. But I'll be doing anything back there to get the kid excited because if they're excited, they're gonna get better. Yeah, the L screen toss, the bucket toss. I've been barking lately. Like you'll hit a go, and they're like, hey, oh, and I'm like, listen. And they're like,
my favorite is teaching my kids Spanish Dominican language. Hey, vamos, vamos. They're like, I'm 9 years old. I'm from Texas.
crazy, crazy.
It's crazy.
But no, man, that's the fun stuff. I think you got to keep it exciting. But also, I tell kids this all the time. Sometimes they'll have a good day and there's just not as much to work on, and they're like, "All right, great day," and I agree, that is a great day to get your reps in. But then when they come and there's something wrong and you get to work, those are the good days, right? I tell them all the time, I was like, how many times have you got excited to come hit in the cage? And they're like, all the time. I'm like, right, me too. How many times have you been excited to wake up and just walk around, walk to the bathroom? And they're like, never, I guess. And I'm like, right, because walking's not that difficult. You can do it. It doesn't take any skill, you just walk. Baseball, hitting baseball specifically, is incredibly difficult. So when you do it right, it feels incredibly good.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you like it. So it's like you're going to get mad at the struggles of this thing when the struggles are what makes it fun. So get in the cage and struggle, man.
Get in the cage and struggle. And that's another part too that's super fun and that keeps you, because there's lessons where that either a kid is frustrated or they're not. At least for me, I'll have some kids that aren't in it that day and just don't want to whatever it is. And you're looking at your clock, you're trying to gauge time, and you're like, dude, this is the longest hour of your life. I'm sure you've been there. And then there's some hours where, like, I remember being in Waco with you and it's 115 degrees and I'm on hour 7. And one of the four softball girls comes in that I have that just kicks ass. And it's like we're at the half hour mark. And before I was like, man, this has been a long day. And now I'm looking at the clock like, okay, maybe we can go 5 over. Maybe we can go 10 over because we're trying, like, she's trying to get work in, and
Right.
we're trying to make this adjustment. That's when it gets fun. Question I have for you: how do you manage that? Because I have some players on here who listen to this podcast, who this happens in their sessions where you're training hard and you're keep reminding them that it's difficult, but they still tend to get frustrated. How do you manage that? How do you mitigate that?
How do I manage that?
Like as a hitting, your players
Yeah.
get frustrated when you're working on something incredibly difficult for an 11-year-old.
Oh,
Let's say.
I'm ready for this one. Yeah, dude, I say quit being the biggest baby of all time and stop acting like a child. I rip somebody. Like, I don't rip anybody. You could take a swing that looks so bad. You could strike out 100 times, and I'm going to be your best friend. But as soon as I'm telling you something, and just because it's hard, you start bitching and crying and moaning, and I'm going to get so mad. Like, tell me one time, bro. I have kicked very few people out of my cage before, but it all was like, well, I can't do it. I'm like, good, then leave. Then don't do it. Then you'll never be good. Fine. I don't care. Leave, get out of here. And the parents are like, whoa, buddy. And I'm like, no, it might take you 100 years, but you can. And so if you're one of those people that's like hitting and you're like, oh my God, I'm too good to strike out. I struck out. Now I'm mad. I will, dude. Is steam coming out of my ears right now?
I'm so glad that you're saying this because I'm directing this question at a specific guy who listens to this podcast, and your answer is exactly what I needed you to say.
Dude,
Exactly what I needed you to say. 100.
get real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get real. Like,
Like,
you know how much of it. Okay, I'm gonna let them rip. Hide your 7-year-old ears, everybody who's listening. But
here
you
we go.
wanna know how to be the biggest asshole of all time? Imagine me getting on the golf course. I shoot like 120. What if I was just mad and throwing my clubs? You know how many times I've gone to the driving ring and practiced? None, right? So if you're a kid and you're 10 or 11, maybe, I don't know how, or 13, however old this kid is, you're not in the big leagues. You haven't practiced enough to be mad, right? Now, if you're Mike Trout and you strike out, okay, he can probably be mad. He's practiced whole life and he's the greatest of all time. But you are not. There is people who are better than you, and if you think that highly of yourself, you have a problem.
And I'm just
Yeah.
talking in the cage, like not even in the game. I'm talking in the cage off of a machine.
Ridiculous. And you know what that is? That's just somebody who think like they probably do it and then they like look around and make sure everybody knows they're better than that. Like they're just a little bit like, I'm supposed to be good, but then when I mess up, instead of just being like, yeah, I messed up, they're like, well, if I'm mad, it looks like I'm better than that. Yeah, no, that's so that no, don't do it. It's like, okay, I'm supposed to be good, swing and miss. Gosh dang it! How do I swing and miss? I'm so good. No, you're not. You're not too good to miss, dude. Jeez.
And this kid in the cage, this happened last week, BTW. In the fall, he hit 600.
I
600.
would get
And I'm
him out
like,
of there.
hey man, what'd you hit in the fall? And he's like, I don't know. And his mom's like, he hit 580. And I was like, okay, why do you think you're so good, man?
You'll
Why do you
never
think
beat
you're so
anybody.
good? How long have we been doing this? Like hitting 80-mile-an-hour fastballs as a 12-year-old. Do you know why you're so much better than everybody else? Maybe because you train harder than everybody else. Like what? I don't know.
No,
And
yeah, but hey, I don't even know who this is, and I cannot be held liable, so I can say whatever I want. But I will say, if you want something to hold you back, kid, keep on, dude. You're doing great. You're really not gonna make it. You're so good, never gonna make it if this is how you are. I'm serious. I don't care. He needs to know. I would have kicked him out of lessons because it is, dude. You're not. Just enjoy it. Just have fun. You don't have to act like you have to be great. Okay, you're not that guy to where it's like, oh, dude, I'm Mike Trout. Sorry, I love you, whoever you are, but that's gonna be what holds you back. If you can't even have fun with it, like, dude, I have kids that get upset too, but there's a way to do it. Like, we're watching the video, and Briar Breton is like, "Well, could I have done this better?" And I'm like, "No, that looks pretty good." And he's like, "Well, I just want to be as good as I can." And I said, "Good, keep on doing what you're doing, and it's over." Right? But I got a guy who gets mad too, but I've kicked him out of lessons like a couple times, and I've been like, no, I'm not doing that with you right now. And so, dude, if it's an attitude and effort thing, get out of my face with it. You know what I mean?
that's tough love from Uncle Landon right there. When you get
Dude,
fired up, that's Uncle
dude,
Landon right there. That's not Coach Landon.
I never want to see you do that. Like, dude, but the thing is, I'm the nicest, right? I'm like, dude,
That's the
run up.
thing. That's
I'm
the
the
thing.
nicest. But I literally have it on the back of our jersey. It says A&E for attitude and effort. So if you can't do that, get out of my face with it because we're best friends until it's like, well, then it's so hard. I just can't do it or this and that. I'm like, bro, okay, you know what? Get out of my face. I don't want to hear it.
And that's the weird part. Like maybe not so much with a kid who listens and is good and is annoyed of with himself struggling. The kids that like don't listen and are borderline like rude. It's like, dude, we're like the chillest people. Like
What do we got to do?
we bring it every day. I mean, at least I think I do. Like we're cool, we're having music going, like we're happy and fun, we're throwing shit. And then they're like, I'm gonna go, hey, you suck, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, and you know what? And I know we're on to like the general now, not just this one kid that I don't even know who it is. But I will say, man, there's just I don't know who you are, and I bet he's awesome. I'm sure he is. But then there's like we go to machine, and you're like kind of dreading doing machine because he's gonna be mad.
Mhm.
Is that how it is?
It was
Sorry to put
yeah.
on. You can cut this off if you don't want. Huh?
We were doing live at bats where I was like, I threw regular BP, and then I was like, get your helmet. I'm gonna dice you up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you should be happy you got somebody who will do that for you. But sorry, I got so into it, man. But
I love that.
dude, we run hard, we get thrown out, we lose, we win. I'm pretty much here, right? But then if it's like an attitude thing, I can't even breathe about it. I'm so mad. You fired me up. My ears are getting hot. My ears are getting hot, actually.
And
It's,
it's this is like revenge for all of the coaches and even me. Like this is karma and revenge on me because I remember our college coach just absolutely losing his flipping mind at practice, and we're going, why is he losing his mind? And then you fast forward 5 years and you're in the cage and you're trying to make an adjustment for a kid and that going on, and you're like, oh, this is karma. Oh, this is full circle.
yeah.
Me at 10 years old, and now I feel bad for every instructor that I had and every coach that I had. Oh man.
I just feel like if you're somebody might be in the game and it might be their first time they ever get to watch you and the only time they ever get to watch you. And so if you strike out and act like a fool, imagine that. Might be the only time somebody gets to watch you. I remember one time I stopped being mad after bad games when I was in college because I remember I was a senior and this mattered. Like I was trying to get drafted. I missed a ball in right field, my only error in the outfield, I think, ever. Uh, and then I struck out 3 times. And we went to eat after the game, my parents, and I just wasn't talking. I was just on my phone, didn't want to hear it. And I was like, I played awful. I played awful. I don't want to hear it. I played awful. My mom's like asking me about my week, like how's school, how's you've been eating good. I can send you home with some stuff. We can go to Walmart. And I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I played awful. So finally, um, we were walking out, and they kind of stopped me. It's like they both knew what was about to happen, and they were like, we drive an hour and a half to see your ungrateful ass play this stupid ass game that we pay for you to come to college, and we've paid for growing up, and you do one thing wrong because you're not good enough and not putting in enough work, and you're going to get mad at us for taking you out to dinner and trying to help you and ask about your day. We won't come to another game. They were like, we never miss, but we won't make another one if you're going to act like this. And they were like, you can think about that. And then I tried to talk to them. And they're like, no, you don't want to talk to us. Don't talk to us. And they left. And I felt about this big. So I could strike out 900 times in a game after that. And I was like, thank you guys so much for coming. If anybody came to watch me, I could have just done the worst baseball of all time. And I'd be like, thank you so much for coming today. I appreciate it. You didn't have to do that, but you did. And thank you. And like, dude, think about a lesson. Kids, learn that from me, dude. Don't be selfish. It's not about you. It's not about you.
It's never about you. That's a great story. Because everybody has that moment in their life. It's a hard
Need it.
lesson to learn, but I mean, you were better for it, and you were pretty. Even in professional baseball, man, you never were pissed. You were never super angry ever.
And in gear, maybe.
And yeah, but like, you're always down for a good time. You're always down to hang out, and you were never taking that off the field. Now, me, I always had a problem with that. I sucked at that 100%. Man, that was that till the day I retired. But learn from us, guys. If you're listening, you got to figure out tools. You figure out gratitude early. And parents, don't let your kids get away with that.
Yeah, get them. Yeah, man. And dude, I want to say too, like there was times even in professional baseball when you're saying like I was cool, I couldn't sleep if I didn't get a hit sometimes. Like I want to succeed. I'm not just somebody who's like the chicken off of Surf's Up that's just like whatever, bruh. I forgot that guy's name, but like, yeah, Chicken Joe. But like, dude, I did want to do well. But if you're taking that off the field, dude, you're crazy. You're crazy because it's just about you, man. How selfish can you get?
Yeah. I actually did a post literally yesterday. I posted a video about that same topic, about what we're talking about now. So important. So important.
Man, that's gonna get me freaking ripped up and fired up, dude. And I can't. That's gonna be our tryout talk. I'm gonna be like, bro. But also, we got a rule that's like, if you say the word "can't" in my facility, you do 10 push-ups on the spot, no matter who you are. Yeah. I've had parents have done push-ups once.
Good.
My couch was low, and they were like, I can't get up. And I'm like, okay, 10 push-ups when you do it.
How about that? What do you mean you can't? What are you asking them to fly around? Are you asking them to do a gainer? Because then they can't, right? Hey, can you do 100 pull-ups right now? No, I can't. Can you hold your finish? I don't know. Can you hold your posture a little bit better? I mean, why would we ask you something that you can't do? Like that's a total mindset.
I mean, and a lot of times I'm not even asking, most of the time, I'm not even asking you to hit the ball well. Like if I want you to hold your finish, that doesn't mean I want you to crush a homer and hold your finish. Right. That means I just want you to hold your finish. Even if you swing and miss, just hold the finish, man. Do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it and do it and try. That's what I said.
Yep. You're scaring me. Can you stop?
No, sorry. I'm getting fired up.
Scare me.
Don't do that. Yeah, no, man. That's it.
It's Monday.
Sorry. Well, now I'm fired up for the week because, like, dude, run the bases, get thrown out, do whatever, play hard, dive, have fun, laugh, dance, have a walk-up song. I don't care. Make it about you, make the team about you and, like, bring everybody down when you strike out. Let's see. Do that. There's 200 kids coming to tryouts, man. Somebody do that for me. I dare you. Somebody swing and slam a bat.
Arrow Factory
Make
CEO
it easier.
issuing you a
I'm
chair.
gonna scratch. I'm gonna get a Sharpie that makes one of those sounds. It's like, and so as soon as that happens, somebody throws a bat. You just get the all black Sharpie. I'm gonna forget I knew what your name was, your phone number. I won't even have a way to get in contact with you. Just be like where you can hear it.
Oh, guys, what the hell are you doing, guys? God, it's
You
okay.
better.
We're all learning. We're all learning. Life's a journey of ups and downs and sucking and not sucking. It's gonna be okay, guys. We'll get through this together.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm tangenting, man. I probably ripped up your kid that you didn't want to get ripped up, but sorry. It wasn't all about him. It was more about some guys I got to.
Hey, if you're listening to this, we're talking to you.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
of you.
Like that.
We love you nonetheless. You have anything else?
No, we're gonna cut up a video next week, and yeah, let's do that, man.
We're gonna do that.
I think more than mechanically, because everybody that's listening is probably going to their hitting coach or working at home or whatever. But I think most importantly, if you guys can get that stuff down, that's better, man. Mom and dad, if you're the one making them all stressed out to think they have to be mad when they strike out, like if they strike out and go, oh my God, slam their bat, they probably just want to show you that they care. Right. And that's annoying from you. Like, no, I don't want them smiling, but any competitive kid is not going to want willingly strike out. Like they're not doing it to piss you off. So if they're upset about it, that's good, but they better hold it in because I will, somebody got to do something, man. They're not my
Start yelling again. We can't get him fired up again.
Yeah, sorry. Okay.
High blood pressure. He's gonna start throwing stuff in his room. It's not gonna be good. Carly's gonna be pissed.
I'm stressing out here just thinking about it. I need a blood pressure check. So let's
You look tense. You look tense right now.
Woosah. My ears are hot. I'm not kidding. My ears are actually hot.
I know. I can tell you're fired up right now. How about this?
Right.
Let's finish. You can do some box press, and then we'll regroup next week, and we'll tear into some other poor kid with an issue.
Okay. Sorry about that guy. My bad. Sorry. Hey, I love everybody. I love everybody except that one Nats hitting coach that made me do the hit and run 45 seconds. Okay.
Yep.
Love you all.
Love you all.